The 25th of June, 2025. Good day, everybody. I'm Connor. Let's talk about the real estate update here in Santa Clarita Valley. Did some numbers this morning, pulled some data. I'll give you the 7-day snapshot. In addition, I'll give you some other intel as well. Let me just move this thing. 779 total active listings currently on the market for sale. Coming soon properties. If you don't have access to those, you might want to get them 20. 20 properties that are coming soon. These run all of the different varieties, single family residences, condominiums, townhomes. You'll see all of those for sale. So right now we have 17 coming soon listings. 94 new listings have been posted in the past week. 17. So there's 20 coming soon. 17 have been posted in the last 7 days. These are daily market snapshots with a week at a glance. Price changes this past 7 days have been 105. 15 properties have gone back on the market, actually falling out of escrow. I had a little talk about that yesterday, talking about some of the things that buyers maybe aren't being told as they are in escrow. I'll give it to you right now. Don't go finance anything new. Don't pay anything off, even if you have a windfall come in with a lot of money. Talk to your lender, especially if it's not enough money to buy the house cash. You still need a loan. Do not mess up your ability. Even paying something off, I know it sounds ridiculous, but sometimes it hurts. You pay something off, they remove your credit line, they pull your credit, they reduce the actual amount because maybe at one point you were kind of high risk. Who knows why they do what they do, but sometimes they do it and then they cause you problems because you went and thought you would do something good. Anything you do, here's two things. First, ask your lender, hey, I have this bill. I want to pay it off. What do you think? Or I want to get this credit card. I'm in escrow. I need to buy some furniture. So I thought I'd get a Pottery Barn, Williams Sonoma, Sears. Is there Sears? Something like that. But if you're going to get a credit card, some kind of line of credit, ask your lender. And if they say, don't you worry, you're fine, don't sweat it, then next thing you do, instead of taking them, as the word of God, make sure you follow up with an email. Say, hey, Jack, listen, we just talked. I said I was going to go out a line of credit or pay something off or do something that may affect my credit. You said it was okay. I just want to make sure I understood that correctly. You might get a different answer. You might be surprised. Not that they're trying to thwart the deal, but when they see something in writing, sometimes it causes folks to pause and reflect. Well, maybe they did that. And if that's the case, then you want to make sure that you get it right from them whether or not to do it. So that'll mess it up. So that's some of the reasons these properties go back on market. Other reasons, well, maybe they discovered something in the property that they couldn't remedy mentally, or maybe the seller wasn't willing to take care of whatever this issue may have been. Also, it could be the simple fact they found something else to purchase. Yes, that sounds horrible, but it does happen. And there are contingency timeframes in escrow. So if they've removed a particular contingency or contingencies, then canceling might equate to that seller having their deposit as the seller's property. But it just depends on how far they were in the process and what they actually removed as far as a formal contingency or contingencies and why they canceled. Everything's subject to being sued, right? So watch out for that too. Active under contract properties 33. 33 have popped into escrow this past 7 days. Stuff's still moving, folks. 46 properties have popped into pending status. 61 properties sold this last week. That's a good number to look at. Of the properties that sold, we have varieties of residential, single family residences, condominiums, townhomes. And no, it's not as fast as it has been in the past several months. The market has definitely slowed down. I know there's a fight between the Fed and the president, back and forth, up and down. If the Fed does reduce the rate, we're going to watch this market kick off. So if that happens, you want to be in a good position and make sure that you understand that it's going to heat up competition-wise, probably more on the buyer end than the seller end. A lot of the sellers I talk to that are contemplating selling real estate, their big holdback is they're wearing those golden handcuffs. So they have this ultimately low mortgage rate, 2 and 3% in some cases. So they would be better off in their minds, looking at themselves financially on a broad spectrum, better off actually renting the property out instead of selling it. And they can rent it out, cash flow it in some cases. In fact, a lot of cases, especially now with the fires, the displacement, rentals are a high priority. And in Santa Clarita, those rental controls don't apply like they do in LA. You're going to have to talk to your property management professional before you get happy. But these are things to look at whenever you're considering renting out a property. And I would definitely consult with an expert before jumping into being a landlord and find out what those rules are as far as tenants go, what they pay, how they can pay, and how they can default, and then how long any kind of enforcement action if they default on that rental that you've, out of the goodness of your heart, rented them. If they default, what's your option? Can you foreclose? How long is that going to take? Is somebody going to block you and say, well, you can't foreclose because of this particular demographic applies to these folks that are renting out your house? Whatever the new rules will be as we come down. I know there's been some talk about having particular people that are non-documented be able to have their rent paid for, as they can't go to work because they'll get picked up for being not legal in this country. That was talked about yesterday. I don't know how you feel, but whatever it is, make sure if you're going to be a landlord, you do your due diligence and find out how that's going to affect you. Are people, not just anybody that's illegal, but legal, whomever, citizens, not citizen, it doesn't matter. How do you get them out if they quit paying you? What's that process look like? Is it a 6-month deal? It used to be you would record a notice of default, maybe after 30 days of missed payment, 45, 50, 60 days after they've missed their rental payment. And then you start that basic process, notifying the court with a notice of default filing. And then after that, in a certain amount of time, you do particular mailings, notices, and then 6 months-ish used to be the way that it is. Check and see how long it takes now. Maybe you being a landlord isn't a good idea unless you can find somebody that really is good. And there are a lot of different ways to vet people, looking at credit ratings, jobs, these sorts of things, rental history, but you just never know. At the end of the day, it's like kids, right? You raise kids, you try to do your best, and some turn out great, some turn out horrible. It's just the way it is. All right, that's it. That's my little spiel. Everybody enjoy the week, please. We're going to be back tomorrow. Just to give you some more insight, we have 6 properties expired, 14 properties canceled, not selling, actual contracts canceled, 24 on hold. These are properties that are probably in some semblance of having an offer accepted. It depends. That's really not the use of that status. But if you watch and you're looking at the multiple listing service via some local website like Santa Clarita Open Houses, or you're looking at the big syndication sites that carry a lot of ads and those sorts of things. But you're looking on those systems and you see a property that was there that you're interested in, all of a sudden it vanishes. It's not under contract. It's not pending. It didn't sell. It's just like gone. That's something that's been put on hold. And there's various reasons for that. It could be that the sellers need to take a break. Maybe somebody got COVID. Maybe somebody isn't feeling well. Maybe they're moving, these sorts of things. These are reasons to put properties on hold. Sometimes I've seen it, at least I kind of feel it, it's put on hold because there was a lot of activity, a lot of offers, and the agent's trying to wade through them with seller notifications. Not the best use of that, and could be a violation. But again, we really don't know until we start our investigations. So if you see something that was there that you were interested in, then all of a sudden it's gone, hit up your agent and have them make a phone call and get back to you. I'm Connor with Honor. We'll see you in the next one. Santa Clarita Openhouses.com, the 25th of June, 2025. It's about 7:50 a.m. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Please share, subscribe, like, and all that fancy stuff. I think it helps the channel. Talk to you soon.